Feels great to be sailing again, and in the time-honoured tradition of sailing on a dream, changed our minds. Not going to Crookshaven at all. Going to go straight to Helgoland and miss any big red buoys, ideally. And we've caught up with Gabrielle. We've had to do quite a bit of tacking to stay out of the way of the ships coming down the shipping lane. So I'm already knackered. But it's so beautiful to be sailing again. I'd almost forgotten what it was like. Anyway, we're cracking along at 8 knots at the moment, but we've got the ebb tide in the River Elbe, so that won't last forever. If it does, our ETA is about midnight, which is absolutely no good. So the idea is to get to Helgoland when it's light. That's the idea. And navigate through the shallows into the entrance to the harbour when we can see. So it'll be an overnight sail, arrival at dawn roughly, and then some sleep and visit the duty-free stores. Booze is already cheap in Germany, it's going to be even cheaper there, so might have to stock up a little bit. Shh, don't tell anyone. They seem to be determined to get in my way. So we're tacking across the shipping lanes, dodging shipping coming in both directions, and desperately trying to make it out of the estuary by 9:30, which is when the tide changes. As you can see, the sun's getting low. Cunning amongst you may notice that the Genoa's gone away and that the engine is running. The tide is due to turn against us soon, and the wind was not perfect to get us out of the estuary before the tide turns and starts sucking us back in. The wind is dying off basically, so we're having a little bit of a motor just to get out of the estuary mouth and into open water so we can turn and start heading north. And we're about halfway at the moment, which means we're going to arrive too early. However, I'm not expecting to have much wind in the night, and we will have the tide against us, so something tells me we won't arrive too early. There's the moonrise. Wow. We're just past the full moon. That's incredible. Hello, fella. We're coming really close. And there's Helgoland. We're just bobbing around here at the moment, waiting for a little bit more light. Got here a bit early, so put the sails away and just bobbing and enjoying some company. Don't often get a porpoise come that close. They're normally very shy. certainly almost never catch them on camera. Just sitting, bobbing around, drinking coffee, and watching the sun come up. It's a hard life, this. So, left Helgoland behind. The bit of drama coming out. The guy at the fuel station didn't speak any English whatsoever, and he was barking instructions through a loudspeaker system at me. Didn't have a clue what he was saying, and it didn't help when he came out and started yelling at me in German, because I still didn't understand anything except that he was very mad. So luckily another sailor, another boat came in and did some translation for me, and all was fine. But dear me, what a kerfuffle. I've found actually that the vast majority of the Germans we've come across don't speak English or won't speak English. If you make a real effort to try and speak some German, sometimes they will speak a bit of English to you, but that's a rare occasion. I do always try, but yeah. And very disappointing, you're only allowed to take 1 litre of alcohol off the island. It's duty free, of course, so it's quite cheap, but 1 litre isn't much. The plan for today is to head for Delfzijl, and Gabrielle and I are going to go into the Dutch canals. We're going to do a small section of the Dutch canals, probably over a couple of days I would guess, and then back out to sea and head towards Den Helder. That's a rough plan. You know what it's like though with me, plans change. I'm keen to do the Dutch canals. I think that will be a nice experience. The weather's absolutely fantastic, and it's going to be fantastic all week apparently, well, according to the weather forecasts. So yeah, looking forward to seeing a bit of Holland. We're motor sailing at the moment. We've got 7 knots of wind, and the waves are such that the sails just won't hold the wind. So we were barely moving. Got current against us at the moment as well. It's an 80-mile trip, so we'll arrive tomorrow morning, hopefully at the right time to catch the flood tide going up the river. Well, not hopefully, we've got to be there at the right time to catch the flood tide going up the river. There's no choice. And get ourselves through the lock and into the town. There's a little marina there. Hopefully we can get alongside and spend a bit of time recovering from the night sail there. Maybe do some exploring and buy a Dutch courtesy flag, because I don't have one. Been sailing for a few hours now. Got 12 knots on the beam. Actually having to slow myself down. We don't need to arrive too early, otherwise we'll be hanging around in the estuary for a long time waiting for the tide to turn. But currently going through the shipping lanes. Very quiet right now anyway. Not seeing much in the way of shipping at all. Everything seems to be on anchor around us. Couldn't be better. And we'll be through the shipping lanes before it goes dark, which is again really nice. Not that it's a problem doing it in the dark, it's just much easier when you can clearly see all the shipping and you know they can see you. This is just glorious sailing. It's so warm. Once we're across the shipping lanes, be turning onto a run and making our way along the edge of the shipping lanes until we get to the point where we turn a bit south again and make our way towards the estuary. Meantime, time to make a cup of tea. Wow, what an amazing night sailing. Sailed all through the night. Weren't going very fast because we had the current against us for a lot of it. But the wind has finally died this morning. So the engines come on for an hour or so, see what happens with the wind. And we're off the coast of Holland. Crossing the shipping canals was a doddle. There was virtually no shipping. I have to say, probably a fluke, but it was nice to be able to just go straight across. No fishing boats to deal with in the night. Nothing. It was an absolute breeze. Not far to go, a few more hours. Should be hopefully tied up in the marina by well, probably early afternoon, I would think. And then, oh, sleep. I've been managing to grab 10 minutes sleep here and there. That's not so much. Now the sun's coming up, my body's decided I'm not allowed to sleep anymore. It's a funny feeling watching the degrees ticking down towards Greenwich Meridian. We're now at 6 degrees. Won't be long before it's 0. Gonna have to make the most of the last few days I've got in Schengen. Feels like it's all coming to an end, which it is, I suppose, but only temporarily. So the race is on. Just arrived at the mouth of the river and we've got 27 miles to do, and we need to average a minimum of 4 knots, ideally 4.5 to 5 knots, to get the 27 miles before the tide turns against us again and runs at over 3 knots down the river. So it's motor sailing into wind. Currently doing between 4.5 and 5.5 knots. Should be fine. Hopefully we'll pick up the inbound current soon, because at the moment we're in an area where we've got competing currents. We've got the coastal current flowing against us and the inbound current into the river flowing with us, so probably cancelling each other out. I think another half an hour and we should be well and truly into the inbound flow into the river. That sandy island over there is Borkum. Haven't seen beaches like that in such a long time. You're going the wrong way, mate.
Want to change course right in front of you and cause a panic?
Well, that would make a pleasant change. Woohoo! Proper overfalls. It's been a long time. Hello, guys. Gigi's all over the place. The autopilot can't cope with it. What a whirlpool. Give me a whirlpool. Now, by the way, in the haze over there, that's the Netherlands. Looking rather industrial at the moment. Plenty of current with us. Engine's running pretty much on idle at the moment. Just a little bit above. 6.5 knots. Lovely. So I've got to get in here across 3.5 knots of current. Germany, Holland, Germany, Holland. Ferry gliding into the entrance. Love it. Just started to creep into the shallows there, so turned and let the current take me away from them. Well, it looks a bit industrial, to say the least. New country, new flag. Welcome to the Netherlands.
Rosa Augapfel Zuckerman, 49 jaar. Albrecht Baggerach, 19 jaar. Frans Jozef Karl Maria Bachner, 40 jaar.